Hello and welcome to the Lunder CareForce Institute. This video will focus on all the tools that you will need to navigate your virtual classroom, starting with how to set up your audio. I'm going to share my screen so you see what a typical screen looks like. This screen is a little busier than you'll probably see on your loaned laptop, but it really does have all the tools that you'll need to navigate successfully. First, we're going to start off with navigating and making sure that your audio and your speaker is successfully tuned. I'm going to have you go to the left-hand lower corner where it says Search Windows. Right, and this will enable you to be able to search for audio. You might also be able to search for speakers or microphone, something to that effect will get you to the same place. I have found manage audio devices. I'm going to double click on this. And this is going to allow us just to check in to make sure that we have appropriate speakers and microphones so that we can utilize that for our Google Meet. For my speakers, I have the green check next to my headphones. If you're not using headphones, you will have just the traditional speakers that are built into your laptop. Same thing with my microphone. This is under recording tab here. My microphone is going to be used from my headphones that have a microphone attached. That's where the green check is. Again, if you're not using headphones, then your microphone will be built into your laptop. So that's where you'll see your green check. You can tell that your microphone is working because of this sensor bar here that's bouncing up and down. So that's telling me that it's able to recognize all the words I'm saying from the microphone. Once you have made sure that you have the check next to the appropriate microphone and audio services, you can hit OK. And we're going to really live in Google Chrome. So you can access Google Chrome by going on the app on the desktop by double clicking. You could also go to your start button here in the lower left-hand corner of your screen and clicking on that. And you can scroll down until you'll find your Google Chrome. Or lastly, you can go to search windows and search for Google Chrome. So several different ways to get to your icon for Google Chrome. All are correct. There is no right way to go, whatever way works for you. Now, I've already navigated to my Google Chrome and I have it minimized, so I'm just going to open it up. And when you open up your Google Chrome, you should also see the ability to sign in. So that's where we're going to start. For this part here, you are going to want your Lunder CareForce email and password handy so that you can utilize it when you're logging in. I'm going to go over to the right-hand upper corner where it says to sign in. Go ahead and click on that for me. And I am using Test Student today, so you can see everything from a student view. So that's already there for me because I've logged in before. If you have not logged in before, you can either click on use another account, or it may just have the ability for you to go ahead and put your username in. Your username will be your Lunder CareForce email. So that is generally your first name, last name at lundercareforce.org. So go ahead and click that in now. Type that into this bar. So mine is already set to go. Now I'm ready to put in my password. So go ahead now and type in the password that you were given by Lunder CareForce. Once you hit the next button, it should log you in successfully. And once you're logged in, you'll see that you have a first initial here in the right-hand top corner. This is to your Google account. And we're going to navigate first to the waffle, okay? So I'm going to click that X and go to the waffle here. And the waffle is going to allow you to utilize all of the apps associated with your Google Workspace. We're first going to go to our Gmail account. So go ahead and click in your Gmail account. You might find that the first time that you log in, Google asks you to accept all their policies, and there might also be a screen that comes up for you to reset your password. You can reset that now if the prompt is telling you to do so, but just make sure that you save that password somewhere very safe so that you don't lose it. It sometimes can be difficult to reset your password in this space, so I want to make sure that everybody really can get in the next time that you're trying to utilize your workspace. Okay, so hopefully all that worked really well for you, and now you are able to view your Gmail account. Again, if you're having any difficulty, always go back to the waffle here on the Google Apps set, and you can go ahead and go right to Gmail that way. Gmail is what we're using for email during this course, and this is the primary way that you're going to be communicating with your instructor. There is also another additional way to communicate for more urgent or emergent situations with through texting or calling. Your instructor will provide you with a phone number. But again, make sure that any non-urgent or emergent questions or information is communicated through email. So if you are looking to send an email, you can go over to the left-hand corner where it says compose. When you click on that, you'll be able to first put in your instructor's email. So just make sure you're able to get that email the first day of class. I'm going to put in my email because I'm one of the instructors. All right, and you should be able to go ahead and click on that. Kristen at lundercareforce.org, that's the email. Go ahead and put in a subject that kind of tells the reader what the email is going to be about. So let's say I have a question about exam practice questions. Okay, so I'm going to start off every email professionally by saying, Dear, whoever the name that you're going to be emailing. And then you're going to type in what your question is, a little bit of background about your question. And then at the end, always conclude with sincerely and then your name. When you're ready to email, you can hit the send button here. If you ever want to attach a file, you can use this little paper clip. You also can attach a link, but I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I'm not going to send it in real time. All right, to navigate all the emails that you've received, you can just use this inbox tab. Okay, and this inbox tab here is going to bring you to all the new emails that you've received. Every time a new assignment or an update is made to your Google Classroom, you'll get an email notification. So you can click on the email to read the details. You can also navigate right to your Google Classroom page through the email by clicking on See Details right from the email. To go back to your inbox, you just go ahead and click on Inbox again. If you ever want to delete any emails, you can go ahead and hit the delete button that I'm showing you right here with my cursor. And then if instructors need to email you, they will email you through your Lunder CareForce email here. Just make sure that you're checking your email at least once a day, deleting anything that you're no longer need, or you can also store them in folders if you want to keep them all. But again, your instructors will be communicating with you through email. So it's very important that you get in the habit of checking your email once a day. Now that we have gone over our Gmail, we're going to navigate to the Google Classroom page. So again, I'm going to go over to the waffle and I'm going to scroll all the way down to where it says Classroom. Go ahead and click on Classroom for me. And once you get to this page, if it's the first time that you're logging in, you will need to accept the invitation to be logged into your Google Classroom. So there should be a little accept invite button right in the bottom corner here where I'm pointing to with my cursor. So go ahead and accept the invitation first, and then you should be able to navigate to your specific classroom page. So this is my classroom. I'm going to click right on it. It will first bring you to your stream. The stream is probably the area that you're going to spend the least amount of time in. And the stream is going to allow you to see any new announcements or any new posts that the instructor puts up on your classroom page. So you won't be spending too much time there. If you have the ability to get into your Google Meet, which is your virtual classroom, you may have the option of doing it from this page, but this specific Google Classroom is not set up that way, but it may be on yours in the future. I'm going to navigate to the classwork tab because this is where we're going to be spending most of our time. Right at the top, you can filter by different topics if you want to just get to a specific topic. For example, if I want to just look at skills checklists, I can click on skills checklist and everything that's posted under that topic will come up for me. I don't really like this view, so I'm going to go back up to all topics and we're going to start just navigating that way. In order for you to view your work, this is all the work that you have submitted. including your quizzes and exam grades. So if you're questioning what your grade was on a recent quiz or exam, you should be able to see it on this page here. Also, if you have not submitted any work for a specific activity, it will say assigned. And if you turn something in already and you're awaiting a grade, it will say turned in. So that's a little difference there. Now I'm going to go back to my classroom page and the classwork tab because again, that's where we're going to live. And most of the classroom pages are all set up the same. You will have all your course materials towards the top. If you don't have the capability to get into your Google Meet through a Meet icon at the top here, you will have a link that is posted right on the top of your Google Classroom page. And this is the one for this particular classroom. So the link is right here for you to navigate right into your virtual classroom. We'll go over that more in just a minute. I'm just going to continue looking at the rest of this Google Classwork tab. So again, all your course materials will be right towards the top. If your instructor has office hours, there is a link for that here. One of the most important parts of this course material section is going to be your calendar, your schedule. So your updated CNA schedule will have your entire course schedule with what particular assignments are going to be covered every day, what the class preparation is for each day. And then if it is a skills day or you will be practicing skills or clinical that day, it will highlight what you're specifically going to need to prepare and what you should be doing that day. So make sure that you keep a close eye on this so that you can prepare accordingly for your quizzes and your exams and you know exactly what is due on what date. Now, as we navigate further down the page, you will be able to see that every single lesson is organized by week. And for example, week 1, lesson 1 reviews healthcare agencies. This particular lesson has 3 different chapters in it. So each lesson will start off with a scavenger hunt. And we'll go over more on the differences between scavenger hunts and learning activities in a different video coming up. You also have the presentation. This is what is going to be provided by your instructor on the day of your virtual class. So you can navigate to this presentation and have that up so that you're prepared for class. The learning activities are to be done at the end of every class and they're due before the beginning of the next class. All right, and as you navigate down, you'll see that they're all really organized the same way for consistency to make it as easy as possible to navigate. I do want to show you that there is an easy way to be able to view and turn in your learning activities. So your learning activities are a requirement for the course. So you want to make sure that you get your learning activities turned in by the due date. So you'll see for this particular lesson, Chapter 8 learning activity is due right here, has the due date and the time. If I were to click on that learning activity, I can go to my work. So I like to start off by going to view instructions. When you view instructions, it will not only have any specific instructions like the due date that you have, any additional instructions that your instructor wants you to know will be printed here. And a copy of the assignment was made for every student. So you should have your name as the subject line. So this student's name is a test student. So you'll see that that's the student's name there. So in order to start working on your assignment, all you have to do is click on your copy that was already made for you. It will bring that copy up for you. But in order for you to start navigating the ability to do your work on this page, you have to open it with Google Docs. So I'm going to click on Open with Google Docs. Now, the nice thing about Google is that you don't have to worry about saving your work. It will automatically save for you. So this individual, if the student is working on this assignment, can start off by putting your name in the subject line under name, and then you can go ahead and answer all the questions here. And this will allow you to completely complete all of the questions. Once you're done with this, again, it's always going to save for you right away, so you don't have to worry about saving it. And when you're done, you can go ahead and navigate back to the original tab. All right, so this is the tab here. All right, and you X that out. And this is now we're back right on the actual assignment. let's say that you finished the assignment, you're ready to go. All you have to do is hit that turn in button. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that in. All right, it's asking me if I want to turn in that assignment. I'm going to say turn in. And you know that you turned it in because it turns up in green here. It says turned in. If for some reason you forgot to add something or you wanted to take back your work for some reason, you could unsubmit it. But just make sure that you always turned it in or submit it again in order to get credit. If you ever wanted to give your instructor a private comment, you can put it here and then send the comment by posting it. Okay, so that's how you're going to be submitting your learning activities on your classroom page. Now that we've already done that, let's go back to the main classwork tab. All right, and we're going to just do an overview of our Google Meet. So Google Meet is where your virtual classes will happen. So you will already have the information about when your classes will meet prior to the start of the course. And you're expected to be on the Meet at the time or even 5 to 10 minutes prior to the time the class is supposed to start. So in order for you to get into your classroom, you have to choose this class video meeting link. So you can either go ahead and click on that, or again, if you have an emblem in the side here, it will probably be in the upper right-hand corner of your page that you can just easily go ahead and click on the camera. But for our classroom here, we have the link. So we're going to click on the link and just make sure the first time that you do it, that you just enable everything. So I'm just going to say not now, but it's asking if we want to allow camera. So I'm going to allow my camera. Yes, I do want that. I want to allow it every time I'm visiting the site. All right, so I'm going to shut my camera off for our purposes, but just keep in mind that you're expected to have your camera on and you're supposed to have your microphone muted during class unless your instructor asks you to do otherwise. Now you want to just check to make sure that your microphone is on and working. Okay, so is this the actual microphone that I want to use? You're going to click that. You're going to also make sure your speakers are working. So just check which speakers you want to use. Again, for mine, it has both the option for my headphones and the speakers that are connected to the laptop. You can also test your speakers prior to entering the class setting. So I recommend doing that, especially the first few times. And then the video, you want to make sure that's working as well. So your webcam is working. Okay, so asks us now if we're ready to join. So I'm going to say join now. And now it's going to bring us into our virtual classroom space. Again, you're expected to keep your camera on the entire time that your virtual classroom is running. And then the microphone can be muted until you're ready to speak. So you can again test your audio settings through looking down in the lower right or left-hand corner of your screen. You'll see that there's a microphone and it's red because it's turned off right now, but the little caret next to it will allow you to be able to just view the settings, view what microphone is chosen. Same idea for the speakers. It will let you choose which speaker you want to use. And then the same thing for the camera. Right now it's in red because it's off, but it allows you just to view what camera you have selected to be your camera for the actual session. All right, and when you're done with that, you can kind of start navigating through the different icons. The next icon is the share your screen icon. If your instructor ever wanted you to share your screen or a presentation, that's what you would use. Generally, though, the instructor is the only one that will be sharing screens. Sometimes the instructor will want kind of a thumbs up or some kind of a note that you're understanding what they're saying in class. So these icons can be used for thumbs up, thumbs down. Just make sure that you're only using these icons when the instructor is asking you to. Next is closed captioning. If you do want closed captioning because you think it might be helpful for you to understand the instructor better, you can make sure that you turn that on. But just keep in mind that sometimes it's not always 100% accurate, especially if the instructor is not enunciating his or her words. The next icon is the raise the hand icon. This is going to be utilized a lot during class. If you do have any questions, you could always go ahead and raise your hand. Your instructor will call on you, answer your questions, and then once you're done and you don't have any further questions, just make sure that you lower your hand so that the instructor knows that you're all set. The next is the three dots right here. This gives you more options just to be able to view your screen in a different way. Adjusting view will allow you to adjust who you're seeing on your screen. A lot of students really like the spotlight option or the sidebar option because it allows you to really only see the instructor or who's talking, and it allows you to see the presentation more clearly. Also, these three buttons here allow you to adjust to full screen if you wanted to see a larger picture. The last icon that really will be used often is your chat feature. So the chat feature looks like a little communication bubble. Once you click on that, you'll be able to type in any message that you want. Make sure that you keep it appropriate. And if you have questions throughout your presentation, your virtual presentation, this is a great way to put your questions in the chat so that the instructor can have a pause, take some time, read the questions and answer them before moving on. So you can just go ahead and type your question and choose send message, and that goes right to the chat for everybody to see. If for some reason your instructor doesn't see your question, it would be a great time for you to raise your hand and just to make sure the instructor sees that there are some questions in the chat. So in order to close that, you can just hit the X at the top. This is the close bar. And that's really a really good overview of what you'll use during your Google Meet sessions. So in order to leave the meeting at the end of the class time, you can leave with this red button here that says leave call, and this will log you out. So I'm going to hit leave call now. Okay, and then I'm going to go right back to our classroom page so we can continue navigating that information. I have a couple of other things I wanted to review with you. One includes your Google Drive. So we'll go over to your waffle one last time and navigate to your Google Drive. This is your main folder where all your assignments and anything that you create will live. Again, remember that the nice thing about our Google platform is that everything is automatically saved for you. So you can always, if you're having difficulty finding a certain assignment, you can always navigate into your Google Drive to look for it. If you don't like the way that this presents here, you could always make sure that you put it into a grid layout. That might be easier for you to view as well. One last thing I'll show you is the Tasks app. The Tasks app is really, I think, very helpful for students because it will help you to keep organized. You could always add a task. For example, if you wanted to study for exam 1, it allows you to put the details. So let's say exam 1 is lessons 1 to 4, and you can set a date that you want it to be happening or due. So I want to do that today. So you can actually show that today is when you will be studying and organize yourself that way. So if that's helpful for you, feel free to do that and use it almost as a planner. That's just another resource that Google Workspace allows. And you can really feel free to use any of these apps on the side, but I really just wanted today to go over all the resources that you're going to be using for our virtual classroom setting. I hope this was helpful, and we're looking forward to working with you on your journey to becoming a certified nursing aide.